Hello, friends. When you're tuning into this, my guess is that we have just made that transition on the winter solstice from everything getting smaller and more constricted and a little darker, and a deep invitation to move inward. And now we've moved across maybe just a few days, but we've moved across that transition into just a little bit more light coming in day by day. My guess is you're also listening to this as you're finishing your holiday preparations, as maybe you're traveling and getting from your home to wherever you're celebrating. And as you're thinking about how you're going to get through, how you're going to create magic for your family, and how you can make the most of this full on, but really magical and special time of year. Most moms I'm talking to are saying something like, I love this time of year, but also Christmas magic or Hanukkah magic or holiday magic, winter magic is crushing me, that there is so much that we want to create for ourselves and our families. And yet, as busy moms, there's so much to complete and wrap up and prepare to put away for a little bit of time off as we move toward the end of the year. And so today, my friend, I want to offer you a blessing of sorts or a heartfelt wish. And it is a wish or a blessing of peace. I've been doing a lot of reflecting on peace the past week or so because it is a word that I'm hearing a lot as I'm doing reflections or readings that come around this wintry, soulful time of year. And it got me really curious about what is peace exactly and what in us longs for it, and how, as busy moms, do we access more of it. And I can't wait to share some of my thoughts on this with you. The first principle of peace that I want to offer you is that peace is not the absence of conflict, chaos, exhaustion, difficulty, or overwhelm. Before I did this little micro dive onto peace, I think I was trying to craft my weeks, especially in this month of December, or craft my days in a way that would give me more quiet or more relaxing activities or more enjoyable connected moments with friends or family. And I'm really glad that I did that. Sometimes it went pretty well. Sometimes it didn't go the way that I expected. I mean, moms, hello, like we try and we plan and we prepare and we put so much into it. And sometimes it's a hit and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it feels the way we expected, and sometimes it leaves us longing for more, even though whatever we had put into place was actualized. So it got me thinking, like, peace isn't so much that I had nothing going on, or that I got a massage, or that I did some self-care or some deep journaling. I think that we can feel peace as a result of all of those things, but I think peace is actually grittier and meatier than just a pleasurable sensation. So, first principle of peace, it is not the absence of difficulty, but it is something that we cling to and connect to on the inside. And it's something that we need to nurture and protect. Kind of like building a fire, that you start a fire with like tiny little kindling and little twigs, and then we ignite a flame. But if we don't tend to that fire, if we don't keep blowing some breath and life into that fire, if we don't keep adding materials and resources and nourishment to that fire, it's going to dwindle and come out. So peace is not the absence of difficulty, but rather a intentional nurturing and cultivating and life breathed in to something essential that actually can live inside of us and that can be with us as we're in whatever the busy, not busy, enjoyable, not enjoyable stretch of time we're in any given day. The second principle of peace is that it is not passive. It's not something that just arrives and we're grateful for it. It is an act of courage, and it is something that requires a deep engagement within ourselves. I did a little bit of etymology research on that word peace to get more sense of what it actually has meant over time, or the origins of that word. And the origins of the word peace have to do with something to fasten or to bind. It's reconciliation or an agreement of different parties coming together, and it's a fastening or a binding. So that got my creative juices flowing. It made me think that if I want to feel or just experience peace during this wintry season, during this period of darkness, during this holiday time, during just whatever season of life I'm in, as a professional woman, as a mom, if I want to experience peace, then I need to stop waiting for difficulty to pass me by. And I need to stop trying to do activities that make me feel pleasurable. But instead, I need to choose what I am going to fasten or bind myself to over this next couple of weeks. What is it that is so vital or essential or important to me that I am going to choose to bring my attention toward it continually and over? What is it that I am choosing to attend to rather than all the other things that I could attend to? And how can I simplify what I'm expecting of myself on any given day so that I can bring that binding, that drawing near to the thing that is most important to me? So before I share what I'm going to be binding myself to, I want you to take a moment and think for yourself. First of all, principle of peace number one, where have you been maybe hoping to create experiences that will give you a feeling of peace, but then maybe you're just kind of feeling not as fulfilled or frustrated or disappointed by things not quite going the way that you expected them to. And then check in with yourself for the second principle. What could it be in your inner experience that you most want to have over the holiday stretch, over time with family, over maybe time away from work? I want you to do that forecasting and that planning right now. What would you like to fasten yourself to bind your attention to? And in that deep meeting and attending to that thing or a couple of things that are most important to you, my hunch is that you're going to feel an inner peace despite whatever might be going on, chaos or less than you thought you would hoped would be going on. Whatever the outer world is, my guess is you're going to feel peace if you are bound and connected to something essential and important to you on the inside. So do a bit of pausing for yourself. What might you want to really focus your attention on and kind of commit yourself to? And think less about actions and more about principles of how you want to be and what you want to make a priority to you. So, the things that I have decided to experiment with binding myself to over the next week or so is the idea of simplicity and the idea of availability of my presence. I feel like when I have allowed myself to let go of how things could be, when I let go of traditions or experiences that maybe we did last year or that I've done in the past, but just feel this year like more complexity and less simplicity. If I can let go of optimizing things, elevating things, making things exactly the way I would like them to be, then I find that I have less to do, less in my mind. And that feeling of simplicity is really bringing me much more ease and permission to engage with what's happening versus making the time outside of my work, outside of the big to-do list I have before the end of the year and for that holiday prep. It's making me feel more peaceful in that slow checking off of the to-do list. If I'm allowing myself to let go of how things could be and embracing a more stripped down, simplified version of this holiday season. And then that second aspect of what I am going to fasten or bind myself to has to do with quality of presence I want to have. I want to be paying attention to what's happening and have a feeling of space and warmth in me versus exhaustion and pressure and kind of rigid or high expectation. So you're maybe hearing a little bit about my personality here. These words might not be what you need to fasten or bind yourself to. I'm just using my story as a personal example that when I'm not simplifying, or when I let my expectations for how things could be, and I'm kind of a seeing the potential in everything kind of a person, when I let that ability outsize or outpace what's happening around me, who's around me, how they are in that moment, I tend to get a little bit more constricted or rigid on the inside. And then my attention gets fractured. I am less present, less warm, a little more in my head and less in the moment. And as my son gets older, I'm really thinking about how things are changing. I feel like week to week right now, but just year to year in this precious little dark season that we're in. And so I really want to be available to it. I want to have a me that's responsive to what is here and who my son is and what my partner's going through, and less driven by all the things I know I want and maybe need to happen. I want to shift into something that feels warmer and present. And when I'm able to do that, I feel peace. I'm able to let go of the things that feel important but just aren't going to happen. And I'm able to nurture a relationship with myself that feels much more generous and spacious. And that's going to give me peace right there. So for me, I'm binding, and you can join me with these words or find your own words, please, that will bring you peace. What will you fasten to no matter what is going on around you? I'm fastening to simplicity and this like warm, present attention. And then I think the third principle of peace has to do with what we do when we're noticing that we're not feeling our best, when we're noticing that longing or that disappointment or that loneliness or that ache inside of us that's longing for something that just feels a little better than whatever is happening in the moment. So I think the weariness that we can feel as busy moms is a really essential part of us that is tugging at us. Like peace is tugging at your bones when you're feeling the opposite of peace, when you're feeling weary and deflated. That weariness and deflation is an important part of you that is like tugging at you, pulling you in, asking for you to attend to and nurture yourself in a new way. It's not that you've done anything wrong. It's just a part of you that's asking you, wait, pay attention to me. Let's go about this party or this present decision or this to-do list or this bedtime or this whatever it is, just a little bit differently. We are not machines. We are not meant to be able to perform and do everything all the time in the ways that we would most want to or that we expect of ourselves. So the principle of peace has to do with noticing when there is a weariness or a something that feels diminished inside of us, that is a sign to draw near to ourselves and then do one of two or both things: to hit the reset button or hit the easy button. That weariness and that desire for peace is an invitation for us to adjust what we're doing and do things a little differently than maybe we thought or maybe we prefer. So the reset button to me looks like, oh, you wanted it to be a connected, you know, sledding adventure with your family or a connected brunch, and people were grumpy. You weren't in a good mood. The kids were protesting. Whatever it is, give yourself permission to reset over and over and over again, to not see what did happen or has been happening as an inevitability or something that needs to continue, but do what you need to do to pull out of the situation, reconnect within yourself, bind to whatever it is that's most important to you for this holiday season, and then just hit the reset button. Try again, begin again. Like Ted Lasso would say, be a goldfish, like let go and move forward and embrace that reset. Give yourself plenty of grace, plenty of self-forgiveness, plenty of opportunities to make a repair if you need to, reset and move forward. And there's that other button that I love, which is the easy button. If you had planned something elaborate, planned something really special, but it's just your kids aren't having it, you're running out of steam, or the people around you feels like life is working against you rather than with you, you could take that as an invitation to hit the easy button. Get takeout, eat cereal for dinner, just whatever looks like easy for you, do that easy. Give yourself that permission to protect your peace rather than protecting the plan as you had imagined it. The you earlier might have imagined it a certain way, and we want to help that you adjust to what is here versus what you thought it was going to be. So hit that easy button whenever you need to. Offer yourself that grace and forgiveness and flexibility. So, friend, we weren't meant or built to do any of this alone. This modern motherhood, this modern busy working parenting experience is a full cup. And when we apply these principles of peace, we're better able to bring a rich connection within ourselves, and we're more available for connection with the people around us. So next time you feel that tug of unrest today, I'm just going to invite you to pause. Don't try to fix it. Don't numb it. Don't override it. Just ask yourself, or ask others with the spirit of love, pull me back in, pull me back and bind me to the things that are most important. My, my well wish or my blessing for you is that you're able to let go of what you didn't plan and what isn't your preference. And you're able to cling to and bind to the things that are most important to you. You're able to reset and hit that easy button whenever you need to, so that you can feel a grounded sense of peace and a connection with yourself and your loved ones as you move through this busy time of year. And day by day, as a sliver of light starts to come in at the beginning and at the end of the day, it's my hope that something more spacious, deeper capacity, deeper creativity, deeper connection start to find their ways into your day. And if you're wanting some support and structure around that, stick with me. We're going to be heading into a full year of podcasting content. There are so many offerings happening over at the Vibrant Mom Collective. I'm looking forward to be connecting with you in the new year and wishing you a peaceful end of the holiday season and peaceful last couple weeks of the year.